Hey guys, Bottom25 here, watching the launch of Transporter 1. This is the first dedicated small-sat launch
Falcon 9's in startup
by SpaceX.
And the vehicle is in startup. Both stages are beginning to pressurize for launch. In a few seconds here, we should be hearing the launch truck to give the final go for liftoff. And there you heard it. That is the
T-minus
at T-minus
35
seconds. All systems are go for the Transporter 1 mission. Let's listen and watch in as we lift off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
Oh, that does not sound right to me. I do not like it being called a Space Force Station. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. On liftoff. There she goes.
We are T plus 43 seconds into flight. Falcon 9 has cleared the tower and is currently throttling down to prepare for max Q at around the T plus 1 minute and 12 second mark. Max Q is where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
Vehicle is approaching max Q.
Max Q.
And we've just passed max Q. That is a really cool tracking shot of Falcon 9. All is looking
You
good
can see
with
the
stage 1
plumes starting to
trajectory.
expand there.
In about a minute, we have 3 events coming up in quick succession. First up is main engine cutoff. That's where the 9 engines on the first stage will shut off, followed by stage separation, where the first and second stages will separate from one another. Shortly after that, we'll have second engine start 1. The Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite its engine and continue its journey into orbit.
So this first stage
MVAC engine chill has begun.
has flown 4 times. The first one was the Demo 2 mission. This is crew driving second demonstration mission, so yeah, that sounds like Demo 2 to me. The Anasis 2 mission, Starlink
We're about
launch,
20 seconds away from
and
main engine
CRS
cutoff, the
21.
start of those 3 events happening in rapid succession.
That's a view inside the interstage.
Main engine cutoff. Stage separation confirmed.
And ignition.
Coming up in a few seconds.
So it looks like this is going into a polar orbit.
MVAC ignition. Bearing separation confirmed.
There you go.
And there you can see the 2 fairing halves have separated and fallen away from the vehicle, exposing the 143 spacecraft to the vacuum of space. And as a reminder, our recovery vessel, Miss Chief, will be attempting to recover the fairing halves today from the water. We're at T plus 3 minutes and 30 seconds into flight. We have a couple of views on screen right now. On the right-hand side is a view of the second stage, specifically the MVAC engine. It's currently in the first of its 2 MVAC burns. This burn should last for about another 5 minutes or so.
I think that is.
And on the
I
left-hand
will
side
only
of
be
the
able to
screen
stick
is a
around for
view
that.
from the top of our first stage looking down. The next milestone for the first stage will be its re-entry burn. Falcon 9 needs to execute an entry burn to slow itself down before hitting the dense parts of the atmosphere. Without this burn, relying on the atmosphere alone to slow Falcon 9 down will put unnecessary strain on the rocket. And that entry burn is coming up at around the T plus 7 minute and 47 minute mark, just a few minutes from now.
Well, that's cool that you can see the Florida coast, I think, below the Falcon 9 first stage now. This is the second polar orbit launch from Cape Canaveral conducted by SpaceX.
For those just joining us, this is the Transporter-1 mission for SpaceX, the first dedicated small-sat rideshare program mission, and it's also the third mission of 2021. We're just waiting on the next major event for this mission, which is the first stage entry burn. That's going to be happening around the T plus 7 minute and 47 mark. You can see some periodic bursts of gas from the first stage. That is nitrogen from our attitude control systems. They help to orient the first stage as it continues to make its descent back towards Earth.
That's a cool view. That's a really cool view.
And as we get closer to the Earth, you'll start to notice those honeycomb-like structures on the left-hand side of the screen start to move and pivot. Those are our hypersonic grid fins, and those help to steer the first stage back as it returns back to Earth. As for the second stage, that performance looks nominal. Just a few seconds after we finish the stage 1 entry burn, we'll be shutting off the second stage Merlin vacuum engine and enter a small coast phase. Again, we'll need to relight this engine later on in the mission to get to our eventual destination in orbit.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
We are about 45 seconds away from that stage 1 entry burn.
Which is so cool.
It is a 3-engine burn, so 3 of the 9 Merlin engines on the first stage will relight and start to slow the stage down before it hits the denser parts of the Earth's atmosphere.
So the first stage is reorienting itself slightly. Oh, that looks. There we go.
Entry burn. 3 of the 9 Merlin engines have relit. This burn is expected to last for about 30 seconds.
Second stage and terminal guidance.
Okay, that means second stage is almost
shut down.
There we go.
You can see on screen the entry burn has concluded.
Yeah, Seco
and
1,
in just a few seconds, we should be hearing the call out for second engine cutoff, where we'll shut down the second stage MVAC engine.
FTS is saved.
FTS is the flight termination software.
There's the second stage.
Also signal stage 1 Cape expected.
Yeah, so that's a sun-synchronous orbit. Stage was, I think, just shy of Cuba.
Second stage has shut down its engine.
Well, I don't know what that is. That looks like the predicted course, but that...
Now, as I mentioned earlier,
that would
we
be
are
very
going to be
wrong.
attempting to recover the booster for a 5th time
No parking orbit insertion.
on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you. That first stage has one more burn left, the landing burn, and it begins just before we touch down and provides the booster with a soft descent before we land. That should be starting up anytime now.
So the landing burn has started, apparently.
And we did get confirmation of the second stage that it did reach a good parking orbit.
Oh.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Okay, okay.
Stage 2, Cape Canaveral.
Oh, there we go, there we go. All the way down, all the way down. Yeah, there we go. That's what we like to see.
Falcon 9 returns safely once again. That is the 5th time for this particular booster and the 73rd recovery of an orbital class rocket. Great way to start off the mission and a great way to start off the Sunday. We're now going to coast for the next 45 minutes or so while we wait for SES-2.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll not be able to get that.
We're going to leave you with an animation that shows you where we're at in the coast phase, and we'll see you back here at the T plus 54 minute mark.
So yeah, I'm Boston25. Goodbye.